Hey there, Chuck with MTG The Journey and RogueDeckBuilder.com. We are here with our first day of Journey into Nyx Spoilers, and this is the very first card that was spoiled by Mark Rosewater. It is called Idolon of Blossoms, and we get to see a brand new mechanic for Journey into Nyx, one of two, and it is called Constellation. Constellation triggers whenever a card that it's on, which is always going to be an enchantment, or another enchantment enters the battlefield. So this is an enchantment creature and a spirit. Whenever it enters the battlefield under your control, or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. This is going to be fantastic. I love this card already. Green, this adds so much drawing power to your field. It's going to be insane. It costs 4 for a 2/2. But what it gets you is just ridiculous. Think about how this would work in a white-green heroic mechanic. I mean, holy cow. Everything you control can be an enchantment creature, and you're just going to draw more cards every time you play them. And with ramp, this can get out of hand stupid fast. This is going to be a removal magnet. I freaking love this card already. Yeah, definitely want to know what people think about this. Some definite synergies we're going to be looking at for this card. It's going to be a draft bomb. So yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Love it. Let's get on to our next card here. Our next card that we have to preview is Extinguish All Hope. It is 4 black and destroy all non-enchantment creatures. This is going to be a card that is going to be replacing things like Supreme Verdict. It is another pseudo board wipe for mono black. This would fit very well into Esper decks, unfortunately. As a top end card, this is also going to be something that's going to be used in something like Black-White Heroic, as you will remove everything that's a non-enchantment creature. This is going to be a nightmare for mono black to deal with, as they don't run any enchantment creatures. And if you're running like a Golgari mid-range deck, like what I'm building right now, this is going to be fantastic for you, because you can ramp into this all day long without any problems, and hit that 4 black without too much problem. Especially if you're running like mostly mono green with Nykthos, this is definitely not going to be a problem to hit. And you can run a lot of enchantment creatures. And you can also make all your own creatures indestructible and just wipe their board. So this, I think, is going to find a place in quite a few decks. I'm not sure. It might be a little clunky yet. Love the art. I'd love to hear everybody's opinions on this one too. This is going to be fantastic. I like this card already. But we'll see how it works out in Standard, which is what I most play. So I can't really speculate on what it would do for any other formats, but for Standard, I think this is it's definitely going to be one that I try to brew with and try to make it fit, maybe as a 1 or 2 of in a couple decks. So yeah, we'll go on to our next one here. This card is called Whitewater Naiads. It's another constellation effect. Whenever Whitewater Naiads or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target creature can't be blocked this turn. This is going to be a draft pick. This is going to be really nice in draft, as it will fit very nicely with other things, such as the big Krakens you might draft. It's going to be a little late drop for 5 for 4/4 that target creature can't be blocked this turn whenever it enters the battlefield, so you could technically make itself unblockable, but you don't really have any way to get it haste. But this could definitely help you get through with some damage for finishing, so it's going to be a quite heavy finisher in draft if nothing else. I don't really see it making a big impact on Standard, but we'll see. I see this more as being just a really good limited card, and it can make a big impact late game for limited. So yeah, that's what I see this being. Other than that, it's not terrifically spectacular. So we'll see how this one works out. On to the next card here. The next card that we have to talk about is Ajani's Presence. This is a 1 white casting cost instant. It's a common, and Ajani's presence reads strive. So strive is another mechanic here, and the way I'm reading it is that it's going to be able to target multiple creatures, but it's going to have a mana cost that you have to pay past the first creature that you target. So in this case, Ajani's presence costs 2 and a white more to cast for each target beyond your first target, and any number of target creatures each get +1/+1 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So just by itself, it's a 1 casting cost, get +1/+1, and gain indestructible in end of turn. This is ridiculous for a common. I love this. This is just fantastic. You can save your best creature, give it indestructible, and give it +1/+1 until end of turn. This is fantastic. I love this card. I don't even know what else to say. This is going to have a huge impact on standard, a huge impact on draft. This gives a lot of decks a lot of staying power. So yes, definitely excited about this one. Just totally, and the art just fantastic. So yeah, that's definitely going to be one that I am excited to use in standard and in draft. So probably my favorite one so far. The next card that we have to talk about is Cyclops of Eternal Fury. This is a 6 casting cost 5/3. Creatures you control have haste and is an enchantment creature at uncommon. And you will see that the border has the Nyx background in it, and all enchantment creatures from Journey into Nyx will have this Nyx background to them. And the Nyx frame doesn't have any rules associated with it, and it says it's just a reminder these creatures are also enchantments. Other enchantments in Theros block use the regular card frame, so just enchantment creatures. And some enchantment creatures in Journey to Nyx have the bestow keyword. I am just going to scroll here to show you this next card. Sorry about this. Gnarled Scarhide is a 4 casting cost bestow creature or a 1 casting cost 2/1 black. It can't block, and enchanted creature gets 2/1 and also can't block. So this is the 2/1 black card that mono black has been missing, unfortunately. It's a 2/1. It's just perfect. I love this card. And again, I'm seeing these cards for the first time as I'm talking about them to you. So it's an enchantment creature Minotaur. So this is going to be cool. I like this card. It's going to have a place in a lot of decks as it is a 2/1, and it doesn't come in tap like Tormented Hero does. And you also have the ability to cast it for its bestow cost and bump another creature up in your deck as well. So this is going to be really fun to use as well. So let's keep going here and see what else we've got. Here is a new heroic creature that we get. It's Satyr Hoplite. It's a 1-drop red 1/1. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Satyr Hoplite, put a +1/+1 counter on Satyr Hoplite. Seems pretty good. 1/1 for 1 that you can pump. It's a decent common, and it's good. It could be good for draft. It gives red a little bit more aggressiveness in draft, which is kind of what you want out of a red draft, is the aggressiveness, which I feel like a lot of the red right now in draft doesn't make it very aggressive. So this is going to help that out a lot. Standard, meh, I don't know. Red, white, heroic is kind of thing, but I don't know. We'll see what this does. So still, it's not bad. You know, all of these commons are just kind of, you know, they're going to make a big impact because commons are the ones that you're going to see the most of in draft. And draft is a format that I'm getting really big into, so I'm very interested to see how these cards are going to have an impact on the Theros draft, because it's one of the most flavorful drafts I think that I've ever been a part of. RTR draft was okay, wasn't terrific, and core set drafts are just that. They're core set drafts. They're really hard to make things work, and a lot of the mechanics don't really work well together because it's meant to kind of buff out or round out your other sets that it's in between and add some more base to it. So, but Theros has been a really good drafting environment so far, and I'm really interested to see what adds to that. So yeah, this is going to fit into that environment very nicely. So let's keep going here and see what else we've got. Here is a new blue card that showcases their new Creatures with Scry ability. It's a common blue, 2 blue, 0/3, and just taps to let you scry. So very useful. This is also going to be very, very useful in draft, so I'm really kind of happy with what blue's getting for draft so far. It is a common, so you're going to see it a lot, and scrying is super, super important in draft, as you can tuck away things that you don't necessarily need, and it's going to be a blocker as well. So early game, this is going to be really nice. And if you have a way to untap it as well, then you can just scry more things away that you may not need to hit what you might need. So this is very useful in draft, and I'm going to be definitely looking for this card in that format. Again, in standard, I don't really see this really making the cut. It might make a couple of decks that want to scry a lot, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting. So we'll see what this happens, but draft is definitely going to be a big plus for this one. So here we are seeing Ravenous lucrocoda. It is a beast creature, so it will work well with things like Advocate of the Beast, as you can pump it with that. It is a 4 casting cost, 2/4, which puts it just outside of the range of like Amizium Mortars. If it were to happen to make a deck in standard deck lists. It does have Vigilance, which is a big plus, and for 7 you can add 3 counters to it, making it a 5/7. So that would be a huge advantage for this card. This is going to be, again, I hate to keep saying it, but draft-wise, it's going to add a lot to your green drafting, as it does have a really big butt, and you can monstrous it when you have nothing else. So you have a big mana dump for it. And again, in a ramp deck, you're not going to really have a huge issue hitting some of these bigger casting costs and bigger activation costs. So again, for draft, it definitely has potential, and limited sealed has potential, and in standard it might make a couple of decks, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what you could do with it in a monsters deck. So yeah, definitely. We will go on to the next one here. And for our last and final spoiler of the day, we have Dakra Mystic. It is a merfolk wizard at uncommon. It is a 1/1 for 1, and for 1 blue mana, each player reveals the top card of his or her library. You may put the revealed cards into their owner's graveyards. If you don't, each player draws a card. So this is pretty interesting as far as cards go. I mean, if you read it, each player will reveal the top card of his or her library, and you may put the revealed cards into their owner's graveyards. If you don't, each player draws a card. So this is kind of what I'm wanting to see, is stuff that interacts with the graveyard. It's perfect. You can put your own stuff into the graveyard. You can put their stuff into the graveyard, and if you're playing something like Night Howler, that only pumps your Night Howler. So stuff like this is going to be very, very cool to brew around, and this is only an uncommon. So I'm very, very, very much liking the symmetry here with some of the other cards in this block. This is fantastic. I like this card. And I'm very excited about it. It's not necessarily just because of this card as much as what it might foretell, as I'm very much thinking this is going to be a very big graveyard-based set. So this kind of is confirming a little bit of my my thought patterning there, that we will see a lot of graveyard interaction in this set, and they're kind of hinting towards it if you read these articles from today. And I will link all these articles that I'm getting these from in the credits of the video here. So definitely check these out. Go to Wizards and read these articles. They're fantastic articles that are written. by the people that helped develop these cards. So very, very, very awesome. So would love to hear your thoughts on what you think of these cards that were spoiled today, which ones you're excited about, which ones you want to see more of, what you think of the new mechanics. So far, I'm very excited. So we will definitely see what comes next. I'm loving this. Unfortunately, I will be, of course, very busy and at guard this weekend, but I promise that I will get these spoiler videos to you as soon as I possibly have a chance to. Uh, so yeah, definitely check back all week, as I will be getting these videos out to you daily if possible. And over the weekend, Thursday through Sunday, I do have guard this weekend. But any chance that I get, then I have Wi-Fi, I will make videos, uh, and I will get these to you as fast as possible this week. Unfortunately, it's a bad week for me, but and of course this would be the week that spoiler season starts. But yes, definitely check in as often as you can from this point on out, because they said the next 2 weeks are spoiler weeks. So we are going to see some really cool stuff. If you haven't checked out my contest yet, please go check it out. And it's just it's a little contest that's based on guessing the mechanics from the new gods and trying to guess Ajani's new abilities. So if you get a chance, pop on over there. Just take a guess at any of them, really, because there's not much interaction going on there so far. So you have a decent chance at winning something. So yeah, definitely pop on over there and check that out if you get a chance to. Again, this has been Chuck with MTG The Journey at RogueXbuilder.com, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video.